Ladies and gentlemen, the Heights High Women's Barbershop.
Shady Lane has hit the town like a bum ba dum bum bum. The back fence gossip ain't been this good since Mabel ran off with Tom. She ran off with Tom. Our town was peaceful and quiet, so quiet before she came on the scene. The lady has started a riot, disturbing the suburban routine. The naughty lady of Shady Lane has a town in a whirl. The naughty lady of Shady Lane. Oh me, oh my, oh what a bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum bum. You should see how she carries on with her admirers galore. She must be giving them quite a thrill, the way they flock to her door. She throws those come hither glances at every Tom, Dick, and Joe. When offered some liquid refreshment, no, the lady never says no. The naughty lady of Shady Lane, she has the town in a whirl. The naughty lady of Shady Lane, not a me, oh my, oh what a bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum bum. The things they're trying to pin on her won't hold much water, I'm sure. Beneath the powder and fancy lace, their beats are heart sweet and pure. She just needs someone to change her, and she'll be nice as can be. If you're in the neighborhood, stranger, you're welcome to drop in and see. Come see the naughty lady of Shady Lane. Has a town in a whirl. The naughty lady of Shady Lane. She's not a bum. She's electable, quite respectable. She's a brand new baby girl. Yes, she's a baby girl.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for coming out today. My name is Ruby Tugo. I'm the president of Women's Barbershop. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the Men's Barbershop.
Da 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 ba doo da 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 ba da ba da 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 ba doo da ba ba da ba da ba da 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 ba doo da da ba da ba da ba da 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 ba doo da ba ba da ba da ba da da ba doo da 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 ba da ba da da ba doo da ba ba da ba da ba da da ba doo da ba da ba da ba da ba doo da. I never thought the love would be making one as lovely as she. But isn't she lovely, made from love? Da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da-da. Isn't she pretty? Truly the angels
I am so happy, so happy. We have been blessed. I can't believe what God has done through us. He's given life to one. But isn't she lovely? Made from love. I never thought we'd make one as lovely as she. But isn't she lovely? Oh, so lovely. Perfect and precious and made from love. Da-ba-da-da-da.
Hello, I'm Hugh Davis, Vice President of Men's Barbershop. I'm proud to announce that we are going to be collaborating with the middle schools in this next year's musical. And while the Women's Barbershop comes on stage, I would just like to thank you all for being here.
my body. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. Can't stop the feeling. Got this feeling in my body. Come on.
Hi everyone. We are the presidents of the BMD, and
We're going to sing the alma mater next, so if you know it, if you could please stand up. If not, we're going to get started.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. It is my honor to introduce myself as the principal of Cleveland Heights High School and start our evening. And the first thing I want to say is welcome home to the many alumni in the room. I am a firm believer that each of us are standing on the shoulders of giants, and your presence here signifies that. So thank you for coming out. We are very grateful for your presence, and we are not here without each of you. I also have an opportunity to welcome additional giants in the room that may not be alumni. I welcome, first and foremost, our superintendent and Board of Education. I welcome Senator Kent Smith. I welcome Councilwoman Sarah Continenza, Representative Juanita Brent, Clerk of City Council Kelly Thomas, Vice President, Community Access of Greater Cleveland Food Bank Tiffany Scruggs, members of the Cleveland Heights University Heights School Board, members of the Heights School Foundation Board of Trustees, and any other elected officials that are also in the presence.
We are very grateful. And now I ask that you turn your attention to the screen where you can learn a little bit more about why we have a Hall of Fame and how ours came to be. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
I thank you all. This is a great honor to be inducted into Cleveland Heights High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
I'm excited to know that it has continued, that it has persisted. There are many, many Heights alums who have very distinctive lives. And so the fact that this can go on is very meaningful to me, looking forward to the future.
And thank you to Heights High. I really do still dream about you.
Well, one thing that I've learned is how rich the history of Tiger Nation is. There's a certain spirit that Heights graduates have, that Tiger Nation has.
The championship finale winner is the team from Cleveland Heights.
I will rep Heights to the day I die.
Graduates, let's turn our tassels.
This very unique, undeniably original place in the world that produces the students that go to Heights High and the parents that guide those students and this whole community that helped me be a Tiger.
We are so lucky to have the Heights Schools Foundation, an entity that is designed to support the schools, to be the keepers of our tradition and of our culture, and who really are always trying to think of ways that they can connect people across the different classes in order to support the current students in our district.
A student group called the Image Makers was created, whose sole job is to evaluate the applications that are received. And so that's the way it works. Students select not knowing who the people are, but they select on the basis of the accomplishments that resonate with them.
Shout out to the Heights, baby. That's Cleveland Heights, by the way.
It's been a long time coming, baby. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but in the NFL, when the games are broadcast on big networks, you get the opportunity, if you're a starter, to tell everybody where you're from. And most guys tell everybody their university. I say, my name is Travis Kelsey, and I'm from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. I can't thank everyone in here enough for giving me this opportunity 10 years later to say I'm a Hall of Famer at Cleveland Heights High School. Thank you.
The experience of being a student at Heights High creates something special in you. And students who leave here, the graduates of Heights High, take that with them wherever they go. I think that these roots go very deep. I think that they are highly valued. I think that they are a treasure. And boy, oh boy, the Heights community is just so much better for having something special like the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame.
As you travel across the country and span the globe, there's always that chance that you will meet a Heights Tiger, and when you do, you will share an immediate bond. The message I am conveying is that Heights High students and alumni are actively changing the community, the state, the nation, and even the world, and we all share a common bond. We have all walked the halls of this amazing school with its amazing staff in an amazing community.
What an outstanding video. You can't help but just come to tears when you hear Travis Kelsey near tears. Good evening. I'm Susan Carver, and I am the president of the Heights Schools Foundation Board of Trustees, and a very, very proud alum of the class of 1978, who, by the way, is going to celebrate, we are going to celebrate our 45th reunion starting tomorrow with 3 days of events, including a cruise on Lady Caroline, formerly known as Nautica Queen. Thank you all for being here today. This program is a very important part of the foundation. The mission of the Heights Schools Foundation is to support our community. our current students, our staff, and as well to be a conduit between the district and the alumni community. Over the last few years, the foundation has worked very hard and has contributed more than $200,000 in scholarships for graduating seniors who are going on to college, technical schools, and as well we provide financial support for the entire district. That could mean anything from after-school programming to field trips to financial aid to families. That happened particularly during COVID, during the year and during the summer. We could not provide any of this without your support and our donors, many of whom are here today and as well would be listening online. I would like to recognize as well our Board of Trustees members for the Heights Schools Foundation. I know many of you are here this evening. Could you please stand? Thank you. You make all of this happen. As well, I'd also like to take a minute out to recognize any current Hall of Famers who have already been inducted into this very special community. Would you please rise? Hall of Famers that have been already inducted. We have one over here. Wonderful. We are so very impressed and so very proud of you. And congratulations, of course, to all of our honorees today. We are very excited to induct you into this special group of alumni. And now, on to why we are here. Let's induct these very, very special, highly accomplished alums into the 43rd Heights High Distinguished Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Dr. Armin Weinberg has been my friend since kindergarten. We went through Taylor Elementary, Roosevelt Junior High, Names from a Distant Past, and Heights High together. Over the decades of his professional life, he had studied health education in schools and then turned his attention to cancer to look for ways to improve cancer treatment outcomes for minority as well as rural and elderly Americans. More recently, Armin has broadened his focus on cancer to include studying the effects of radiation exposure on the people of Ukraine resulting from the Chernobyl nuclear plant disaster in 1986. Armin's work has been hugely impressive to me over the decades. I congratulate him on all he has accomplished, and it has been an honor for me to be able to nominate him for induction into the Heights High School Hall of Fame.
I really admire Heather Clayton Terry because I believe that she's multifaceted. I think that she embodies the spirit of excellence and she's committed to lifelong learning. I especially think that's true with her impact on disadvantaged communities. If I were going to describe her to someone, I would say that she is smart, that she's confident, she's professional, she's compassionate, she's respectful, and most of all, she's very gracious. I think Heather has been successful in her career because she's just very genuine. I think she has a genuine interest in people, and most of the lines of work that she has chosen have to do with helping other people. I would say congratulations to all of the honorees tonight, but especially to you, Heather. Best is yet to come.
I was honored to nominate Ken Barkus posthumously for the Heights High Hall of Fame. Ken Barkus was the Midwest Bureau Chief for NPR, National Public Radio. He had the idea of having regional bureau chiefs for NPR. That was his idea, and he was the first person they hired for such a role. Yeah, I'd only met him twice, but after hearing the story of the impact he had, just even on people in his own neighborhood, but nationally on all of these journalists. I mean, we're talking dozens upon dozens whom he took to a higher level and who valued him so. He deserves this nomination. He deserves to be recognized, and it's important to honor people who live their lives with such meaning, purpose, and integrity, trying to make the world a better place.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gavin McIntyre, and I'm a junior at Cleveland Heights High School, and I'm honored to be introducing Dr. Armin Weinberg into the Cleveland Heights Hall of Fame. Dr. Weinberg was ahead of his time. Before the media started talking about health disparities for minorities in healthcare and especially cancer treatment, Dr. Weinberg was already working to address that. As a doctor and a medical researcher, he has led research studies around the globe to eliminate racial disparities in clinical trials and treatments. Dr. Weinberg graduated from Heights High in 1964, even though he should have been a member of the class of 1965. But because he had enough credits to graduate, it was lucky for him, it was a year earlier. After attending Ohio State University, he became a clinical professor at Baylor College of Medicine to teach others his specialties and research chronic diseases. His work earned him the role of chair of the Cancer Alliance of Texas. If he wasn't a professor, Dr. Weinberg would have possibly been a pilot. His most exciting memory of Heights is his graduation, especially since he was able to graduate a year early. He told me the only regret he had from his high school career was French class. I don't know exactly what he meant by that, but I'm guessing he didn't try hard enough in that class. A couple of things that Heights taught him was how to grow and mature and for the future, and to stay open-minded and live through the experience, and especially listen to your peers. It was very special for me to interview Dr. Weinberg. In fact, I picked him for a reason. Like so many of you, I lost someone I loved to cancer. In my case, it was my dad. So, Dr. Weinberg, thank you for everything you've done. And let's introduce our first Hall of Famer of the night.
Okay. Thank you very much. If you do this for everybody, we'll be, okay. So thank you, Gavin, very much, and thanks to everybody for being here. We're supposed to keep this under 3 minutes. So one thing I learned many years ago was to take advantage of a prop, like a timer. First, let me say, Harvey, I'd like to thank you for putting together the application for this nomination. And second, I'd thank the students for thinking there was enough merit in what you put down to make this selection of me into this distinguished group. I have to pause really quickly, however, to have a special thanks to my wife, Karen, and our daughter, Lindsay, who put up with a lot of long hours and many strange and different places that I would go myself and sometimes take them throughout my career. I'm equally proud of them and what they've done. And I'm really, really proud to be here representing the Weinberg and Ashkenazi family, my families, my father and mother's families, who were, many of whom were here as students as well. I thought for a second I would spend us just thinking back about the role that Heights played, you know, the education that you get. I remember debate, speech, French. Well, French maybe not so much. That was not my favorite subject. But I learned to think here. It was a foundation for putting the knowledge that I had to use. I think that's one of the things that really sticks in my mind. I remember the voices and some of the values I learned from my teachers, and of course from my parents. My father, who often closed his emails to each of us with, "Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do." You know, I know he would have been really proud, because I know he would say, you could make a difference, and you did. And by being honored today, I think he would really appreciate that. But like the band, I learned that you can't do it alone. I remember being in the band here, and one of the most powerful moments was when the trumpets, and I was a part of that, would march down on this very stage and close the concert with the Stars and Stripes Forever. It was great. My mom, by the way, on the other hand, always wondered what I did. She could never quite be sure. But when she saw my name being quoted in National Geographic about the Chernobyl disaster, I knew she was really happy. Then, when she saw that I had dinner at former President Bush and Barbara Bush's home in Kennebunkport for the work we were doing in cancer, I know that made her really happy. So it's really nice. I think, however, thinking back, she probably also remembers when they thought I should go to military school in the 2nd grade. I guess I was a little bit of a problem. Well, anyway, she probably said, Oi Armand, this was one of the things. And today, you know, I think she would say, Oi Armand, that was good. So let me close by saying thanks to all my teachers, family, friends who are here tonight and who have been with me throughout the years. I'd like to be sincere when I say this. It's an honor to add to the beautiful tapestry of the alumni that make up this Hall of Fame and the previous ones. And I look forward to spending tomorrow with the students. Thank you all very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Miss Heather Clayton Terry is an example of Heights High's best and brightest. She challenged herself and made the best of her high school experience. My name is Jordan Evans, and I am proud to introduce you to Miss Heather Clayton Terry, a member of the class of 1994. Miss Heather has an enormous love for music. During her time at Heights, she participated in gospel choir, like me. She also loved to sing and play instruments, also like me. In her 20s, she worked for record labels, creating compilation albums. She traveled all over the world, touring, singing, and writing beautiful songs. But Heather's most memorable course from high school wasn't music, it was auto tech. It wasn't very common for a woman to take a class such as auto tech. Heather vividly remembers walking up to the sign-up table, which was surrounded by boys. She asked what the table was for, and someone responded saying, "This isn't your table," meaning she, as a girl, had no business wanting to learn about car mechanics. Little did they know, that only motivated her more to join the class. She wanted to prove to them that she could do it. After joining, she met her favorite teacher from Heights, Mr. Stevens. He always looked out for her and encouraged her to take advantage of opportunities that would benefit her. Miss Heather Clayton Terry was not and is not intimidated by the male-dominated spaces she enters. She maintains her confidence, crediting her grandma Claretta for instilling this confidence in her. Her grandma always encouraged her to speak her truth, no matter the room she's in. She uses this mentality in her everyday life. Miss Heather said that her younger high school self would never foresee her doing what she's doing now. She now is in the business of philanthropy. She directs philanthropy for Dominion Energy, where she distributes money across Ohio, working in part to give money to Black organizations that address social inequities and organizations that encourage girls and women to enter STEM fields. She told me that she's happy to be doing work that her family and her grandmother can be proud of. Please help me welcome Ms. Heather Clayton Terry to the stage.
Thank you, everybody. That was really nice. Thank you, Jordan. I'll start by saying my name is Heather Claretta Clayton Terry. I was named after my grandmother, Claretta, and I always try to pay homage to her when I can. Thank you for this opportunity. Let me start by saying this. I am very thankful to the Divine Creator that I'm here, that I got up this morning, and I have this opportunity to be here with you all today. I graduated from Cleveland Heights High School in 1994, thinking that I was going to do something else, right? And here I am doing music that I love, surrounded by a wonderful family that I love, and being given the opportunity to provide charitable grant making to nonprofits across Ohio and the 15th state footprint of Dominion Energy, doing social justice grants. So it's a true privilege and pleasure. I need to thank my parents who are in the crowd, Gail and Ronald Clayton. I must thank them. My twin Credibles are not here, my children. They are 4.5 years old. It took me 10 years to have them through IVF, and I'm very, very vocal about that because so many people struggle silently. They are at home, but I also want to thank my loved ones that are here in the crowd. I have so many, but these are my people, my village, and so I want to thank them as well. I will tell you this. When I was here, I was a part of a very small clique, okay? Jordan and I were having this discussion about cliques and trying to fit in. Mine was made up of my best friend, Jennifer Gibson, from high school, and my beloved god sister, Enike Jade Overton, who passed away at 34 years old from multiple sclerosis. I say that to say that we navigated to the best of our ability the opportunity to try to fit in, right? To figure out who we are, to learn more about where we come from, our ancestry. That was something that was important to us. And also having fun. Our favorite thing in the world was doing music, walking home, reciting lyrics to songs, and encouraging each other as our families dealt with challenges that ranged in multitudes of ways that we had no control over. And so I think that I wrote some very small remarks, but I wanted to focus on the students today, even though there are very few here. But I thought that it was important too, because I wanted you to hear the message as well. Today, I want to offer you a message to think through. Today is all about all of us in this room, not just me, not just all of the recipients and the inductees. But it's truly about a question that I have for you. Do you believe in your greatness? Do you believe in your greatness? I've struggled with this question, and it's taken me some time to reflect on who I am, who I'm meant to be, and what my purpose is in life. We get into spaces sometimes where we prioritize what everyone else is doing instead of who we are and what brings us joy and what we envision for our lives. I want you to really step into who you are and honor that. Prioritize that, because you are like no other person in this world. We have all experienced hardship, but you must ask yourself, what will you do with that hardship? Hardships bring choices. The choice is to evolve or to remain. You can continue to sit in that pain, or you can use that pain to channel yourself into something bigger. When we sit in hardship, we can become miserable and face similar challenges over and over and over again because we do not prioritize evolving and healing. I heal through prayer. I heal through therapy. I heal through affirmations. I heal through manifestations. And most importantly, I heal through love. Love for myself, love for the concept of love, and a profound belief that love will heal everything if you let it in. I'm so thankful to receive this induction. I am a Black woman, and I fight to be seen every day, heard and respected. And so I truly live out my purpose, and that is to help people. But as I heal and grow and I evolve, I want you to do the same, everyone in the audience today. Heal from what you hurt, heal from what hurt you, dust yourself off, create new and more meaningful relationships that feed your soul, and believe that if you work hard on your inner healing, academic studies, and whatever you plan to do in your next chapter, it will pay off in due time. My grandmother always told me that patience is a virtue, and I want you to know that you were created in the energy of love, and that on the other side of any and all fear is your destiny. Prioritize growing in strength, patience, and love, and all your blessings will flow. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, everyone. They say journalism is a lost art. But Ken Barkis's career and legacy says otherwise. I don't know who the they is who says that, but I have an idea of who the man is who proved them wrong. My name is Anaya Idem, and I'm a senior, and I'm proud to introduce you to Ken Barkis, a Heights native and graduate who walked the stage in 1973. He then went on to college where he studied psychology, intending to attend law school. Through his wife, Ellen Barkis, I learned that just one day before his day of before his first day of law school, he decided to get his master's in journalism. He did this through American University. From there, it was on. From covering 9/11 to Anita Hill, Ken's journalistic style boosted him to popularity among his writing counterparts. Yet, it wasn't the notoriety that was important to him. It was the quality of his art. Mrs. Barkis told me a story about when he covered Hurricane Katrina and set up a bureau with essentials to hone in and get the best quality of content. Somehow, through this time-consuming hard work and dedication, it never got in the way of him being a mentor, father, nor husband. Sadly, in October of 2022, we lost Ken Barkis. Ken left behind a legacy not only with NPR, where he was the Midwest bureau chief, but in his own personal life, where he was adored by many. Ken often said to look for the moments of joy. And that wasn't just a mantra or motto, but something he genuinely lived by. If there's anything to learn from Ken Barkis, it's to do what makes you happy. Even if you're unsure, choose happiness and joy. I welcome Ken's daughter, Julia Barkis, to the podium to accept this honor. Julia is a 2011 Heights grad herself, and she just got married last month. Congratulations, Julia, and congratulations to your father, Ken Barkis.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julia, Ken's daughter. We are so honored that my dad is receiving this award today, and to think he's now in the same Hall of Fame as Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Thank you to the Heights Schools Foundation and everyone who worked to put on this event and include this very special person. As you've just heard, he was incredibly deserving, not only because of his accomplishments, but also because of how he walked through the world and interacted with every person around him in his community. So proud to be a Heights graduate, as was my dad, along with my sister and several aunts and uncles. This community is very special, and my dad embodied the Cleveland Heights spirit so perfectly. Thank you again. This is so very special for our family.
My name is Alasia Brooks, and I graduated from Cleveland Heights High in the year 2020. Yes, 2020, a devastating year for all of us, which meant I missed out on a lot of different things. A real graduation ceremony, a senior prom, a senior track season, and the annual Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My classmates and I didn't have the opportunity to meet that year's inductees, to introduce them on this stage, to bring them to our classrooms, and be inspired by them. And it is inspiring. This opportunity to speak before a room of Hall of Famers gives me so much hope that it is possible to attain such an award of high accolade. Cleveland Heights is a school known for its persistence in developing the character of its students. I know that I walked these halls and sat in these classrooms by future Hall of Famers. I was inspired every day that I attended Heights High. Inspired by alumni, inspired by my teachers, and inspired by my classmates. I would never forget the girl with the camera, Zaria Elizabeth, the confident and articulate YouTuber who had aspirations to become a model. I witnessed her fan page progress from 250 subscribers to 15,000. There is no doubt in my mind that she will achieve success in whatever endeavor she sets her minds to, and that maybe one day she'll become a Hall of Famer. There's also this young athlete named Jada, who still attends Monticello Middle School. She put her school on the map by winning the 800-meter state championships in track as a 7th grader. She may one day become a Hall of Famer. Or maybe it'll be me, who knows? Maybe I'll be inducted one day as a track star myself. I did set the 4th all-time fastest time in the NCAA school history, so maybe, who knows? Or maybe it'll be my work as a nurse, a passion that I learned in Cleveland Heights High. I started the STNA program, and that's where I learned my passion for being a nurse. Nurses don't usually get famous, but they do impact people's lives in such a special way. And having that positive impact, making a difference in the lives of individuals, is good enough qualification for me to be inducted, so who knows? Cleveland Heights High School has produced tens of thousands of impressive graduates who've made a mark in their field and on our world. Some of them are sitting on this stage, in the middle, or perhaps at the end of their impressive careers. And some of us are just beginning. So thank you.
I nominated Eric Bailey, VP of User Experience at Zillow. We always hear that story, if you are doing what you love, you never work a day in your life. And sometimes a lot of that stuff just sounds like, people just talking or whatever. But I can say that Eric Bailey is the epitome of that. He's been a constant inspiration in my life. He's been able to give back. He's also worked for Disney. The one big thing, his accomplishment that always freaks me out is that he was intricate in making the wristband, the tracking system at Disney. I think it's called a Fast Pass or something like that, and to know that I know somebody who was right there, helping to develop that technology is kind of wild. If past experience has been is any indication of what the future will hold, I think he'll take this and use it to inspire probably his kids and hopefully some of the people at Heights. I'm sure they will instantly be able to see the light that I see that shines from him. Is, just after a couple minutes of hearing him speak and everything. And I'm just proud that I'm able just to provide even a little bit of helping the world to see what it is I see.
I just happened to get an email that said, "Do you know anybody worthy of nominating for the Cleveland Heights High School Hall of Fame?" I looked and I said, well, gosh, I think I do. Susan fits all the criteria to be a Hall of Famer. She's taken the Heights mentality, what it means to be a Heights person, and been able to apply it throughout the world. She's worked in the area specifically of sports nutrition. Her work in sports nutrition has influenced athletes throughout the world. She worked extensively with the Cleveland Browns and the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Seattle Seahawks, the Seattle Storm. Susan today is a PhD in nutrition, living in Seattle, Washington on Mercer Island. She's very involved in education. She's had research and fellowship positions at several universities, including the University of Washington. When you talk about sports nutrition, when you look it up on the internet, her name comes to the top. And happy to nominate her for the Hall of Fame.
I nominated Phyllis Harris, my classmate of 1983. When I think of Heights High, let's bring it back to Heights. When I think of Heights High, I think of pride, inclusion, just people who wants the good for everybody. And Phyllis exudes that. Anybody who does anything for a nonprofit has heard the name Phyllis Harris. She is a household name. She's just giving a voice to people who didn't have a voice or who had a voice and were afraid to use their voice. I just recommend that everybody Google the name Phyllis Harris if you want to know who Phyllis Harris is, what she lives, what she breathes. I'm just so proud of her. I didn't expect any less of Phyllis, but when I see what she's doing in the community in greater Cleveland, this leaves me in awe. This leaves me in awe. And I believe give people their roses while they're living, give her flowers. Let's give her flowers now from Heights High.
Good afternoon. My name is Brandon Caesar. I'm a junior here at Heights High. I'm a captain of the football team, wrestling team, a member of the boys volleyball team, and then also a member of the superintendent student cadre. I'm excited to introduce our next inductee, Eric E.J. Bailey. Here at Heights, Mr. Bailey found his favorite teacher, Mrs. Susan, his art teacher, who helped him develop his personality and his love and talents with art. High school is a place where you start to realize the importance of where you fit in. Mr. Bailey had no problem being able to mix and match people from all different kinds of walks of life, to be able to put himself in the center and connect with them all. After graduating in 1990, Mr. Bailey studied graphic design at the University of Cincinnati, and after several years as a designer and educator, he earned his master's degree in art at Stanford University at Learning, Design, and Technology. Then to return to Chicago, where he's now the vice president of the user experience for the Zillow Group. Mr. Bailey believes in using design to live your life's purpose. He wants to tell every creative young person to nurture your gift of creativity and to believe in yourself. It is very important to dedicating your time to exploring, expressing, and developing your creative nature. To us young people, he says, be true to yourself. Be the person to find out what's important to them and stay true to it. It's okay to not know who you are yet. It's okay to be in the process of figuring it out. The journey is to become more of yourself throughout the years of your lifetime. I welcome E.J. Bailey.
Hi, everyone. Class of 90 represent. Anyone here? Okay. So the last time I was on the stage or approaching the stage, I was hoping I'd get the award for best curl. This is the 90s, right? Curls. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not win that award. And more unfortunately, I will probably never win that award, from what you can tell. But I'm really thankful to be here. I really appreciate it. I'm not a man of many words, and so I'm going to try to keep it short. One, I wanted to say that I'm really humbled to be included among this group of esteemed people. Never expected it myself. But, hearing about the origin of this award and this institution, learning that it really was about trying to match students with life-sized heroes. I feel blessed and honored that you saw something in me that was worth honoring. So I want to thank you. This is a thank you to the students. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I also want to thank my best friend, Mike Bailey. Why don't you stand up, Mike, just to give us a little, there we go. Okay, so Mike's been with me he's been by my side since middle school. We met in middle school, and so that's, over 40 years, right? And I really want to acknowledge him and thank him. So thanks, Mike, I love you. I also want to thank my friends. I want to thank my family, my wife, my kids. They came all the way out here from California, dragged them out of the house, out of school, so thank you. They're my tribe. They're also the loves of my life. So thank you. And then lastly, I guess I wanted to say that, I really appreciate High Tie. This school really transformed me. It made me this is where I became who I am. I would say it was less about what I learned here and more about the fact that I learned to learn. If there's any advice, I guess, that I could give and impart to the kids here, the students, or anyone listening, is that, it's really important to understand that this is just the first step, that learning lasts the rest of your life. You spend the rest of your life growing, adapting. Many of the things that you learn today or in high school aren't going to be relevant in the future. So, for instance, the internet didn't exist, really, when I was in school. I didn't learn anything about the internet. Now I work in that field. But the point is that the things that you learn will quickly become distant memories, and you'll have to learn new things. You'll have to grow, and the main thing to do is to continue to learn, right, for the rest of your life. Even old folks like me are daily taking on new things, new skills, new ways to challenge ourselves. So that's what I wanted to share. I want to thank you again. I am blessed with the gift of learning every day. I got that from Heights. Thank you, and have a great night.
Good evening, everyone. As a driving force in the world of health, Susan Kleiner has been an influential figure in the field of sports nutrition. A 1975 graduate of Heights High, Dr. Kleiner has worked with popular sports teams like the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Heat. She is the author of 10 books and is a founder of multiple companies, one of them being High Performance Nutrition. She has been able to help everyone from Olympians and elite athletes to high school students with her books and research on nutrition and sports. These books are easy to understand and have helped many student athletes pull ahead of the competition. Furthermore, Dr. Kleiner is a team leader for the Medical Education Exchange Team, or MEET, which seeks to enhance global health education by promoting international education partnerships. With over 30 years in this field, she has guided many athletes to consider nutrition as an important part of their training. She has even influenced me. My name is Christopher Williams, and I am a senior here at Cleveland Heights High School. I have been a track and cross-country runner here since my freshman year, and so I understand how important a good diet is to athletic performance. I am very thankful for all the work she has done for the world of nutrition, and I'm excited to introduce Dr. Susan Kleiner.
Wow, well, it's a trip down memory lane to come back to Heights High School. I have to say I have not been here since my last day as a student. This Hall of Fame award is truly an honor, but extraordinarily unexpected. My thanks, of course, to the students who took the time out of their day to take time and reflect on the nominees and select us. I had no idea it was you, the students, who were selecting. So that's been wonderful. It's been, as EJ said, quite extraordinary to meet the rest of the honorees from the Hall of Fame this year, and I am really amazed at the accomplishments and the contributions. My thanks, of course, to the foundation. I think you're doing marvelous work. This did not exist when I graduated in 1975, so a lot has happened since then. And then especially to my cousin, Richard Douglas, who you've already met. Richard, thank you so much. You were pretty daring to nominate me. I say daring because it wasn't a secret that unlike all my previous fellow honorees, I didn't like high school. And I graduated early to escape as soon as possible. The years of the late 60s and early 70s were trying times in our nation and in our community. I had an older brother who also is a Heights High graduate who, by the skin of his teeth, did not get drafted to go to Vietnam. They were troubling times. And for me, I knew I loved to learn, but I never felt like I fit in school. The last thank yous go to my dear friends, Nancy Fredman Kent and Lisa Potter Barris, and Lisa's husband, Bill. Nancy and Lisa were my classmates and co-troublemakers going through school. They supported me, put up with me. I was the one who always said no. And, and so thank you so much for being here. I don't think I would be here without you, having been by my side through school. And upon reflection, when I saw on my phone Cleveland Heights High School, when I received my call that I had been given this award and realized I wasn't in trouble. And then I had to reflect on my time here. I have one more person to thank, a teacher, Mr. Fred Mills. Mr. Mills was my homeroom teacher at Wiley Junior High, and he paid enough attention to me that he recommended to my parents that if I was going to maintain my student status in high school, I better be enrolled in the part-time non-traditional program at Heights at that time, which was called Flex. That program kept me interested enough that I remained in school for 10th grade and then enrolled in the brand new full-time non-traditional program, New School, the following year. In New School, which it was funny because Mr. Mills came up to the high school and was a teacher there as well, for the first time, I not only could participate in my own learning experience, I was required to engage with my teachers and fellow students to create and map our educational paths and goals. New School created an environment where I could develop agency over my own learning environment. My thoughts, my ideas, my questions, my interests mattered too. I was a partner with my teachers and fellow students in our joint learning process. Until now, I hadn't realized that it was through New School that I recognized the role that I could play in my own educational journey. That agency led me to Hiram College and ultimately to Case Western Reserve, where I created my own doctoral program in nutrition science and human performance, a field of study that didn't previously exist. From New School, I felt empowered to create my own path as I moved forward in my educational experience, and certain that I could meet the unmapped challenges of a new field of study, sports nutrition. That term was coined while I was in my doctoral program in the early 1980s. New School doesn't exist anymore, and I have no idea where Mr. Mills is or whether he is still with us here on Earth. But this award has given me the opportunity to say thank you to both. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Deshara Turner, and I am a senior at Heights High. Recently, I have become a social justice activist for women's rights and victims against sexual violence. I am also a softball player, a public speaker. I believe myself to be a role model for people in my community and younger students who plan to come to Heights High. I'm a leader in my school cultural diversity group known as MSAN, and I participate in my student government. After high school, I plan to go to college and still volunteer in the community and work for them. It is my honor to be here to introduce Phyllis Seven Harris, who was a Cleveland Heights alum from the class of 1983. And she is doing a lot of these things herself. She's serving as a role model and activist in her community, and she has over 25 years of nonprofit leadership experience, including with local and national boards, such as the Women of Color Foundation, Assembly for the Arts, Gestalt Institute of Cleveland and Centerlink, the community of LGBTQ centers. She has led youth initiatives at Planned Parenthood and was one of 6 co-chairs of the transitional team for Mayor of Cleveland, Justin Bibb, and was on the selection advisory panel for the City of Cleveland's Community Police Commission. She is also an advocate for Cleveland's LGBTQ+ community. Mrs. Harris' advice to younger students is that it may not seem like it, but these high school years are only the beginning of discovering who you are and how you want to live and be present in the world. Spoken advice from her grandmother is just keep on living. In high school, she regrets not doing her senior photo for the yearbook or going to prom. At the age of 18, she was living on her own with a full-time job that she believed could provide for herself. And she lived in San Francisco for 1 year before coming home to be serious about college, where she earned a degree in nonprofit management. She is now able to help people through the social issues that she cares most about. Spearheading youth initiatives is another example of how her work allows her to align her values of offering support and helping others, making it easier for her to love her career. Please welcome Miss Phyllis Seven Harris.
Thank you. I have to tell you about my name because my name is Phyllis Michelle Harris, and I'm named after my uncle, Philip Michael Harris. I'm very proud of my name. So you heard Seven, and Seven is a nickname that I gave to myself. My mama, Florence, who's here tonight, does not call me Seven, but I was a quiet kid here at Heights High. I was a kid that hung out at the same spot every day on the same floor in front of the one locker that we all shared with Kelly and Mardine and Irma for the 3 years that I was here. Quiet, observant, a little bit shy, a lot shy. And so the name Seven allowed me at 37 when I claimed the name. People say, is your real name Seven? And I say, yes, I really named myself Seven. Came at 37 when I was redefining who I was, in the world in relationship to what I wanted to do. I had then a 5-year-old, before my daughter here, Jaden, but really trying to figure out who I am. And I noticed that things were happening for me in my life in sort of like 7-year increments. And so I claimed the name Seven, introduced myself at Gestalt Institute, Cleveland, where now I'm served on the board as Seven for this intense, program where I was gonna learn a lot. And those were the first people who only knew me as Seven. Fast forward, I'm getting stronger and I'm learning more and living longer, like my grandmother says, keep on living. And Seven is fierce. Seven has voice. Seven gets a break and gets a job at the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center. Seven moves and gets a job at the AIDS Task Force of Greater Cleveland. Seven leaves there, becomes the VP of programs at Big Brothers Big Sisters. I'm learning that I'm into social justice. My mother is the reason for this. She taught us to be caring, to give, to let people in our home who needed a place to sleep or rest, to share our food. So what I do in terms of my social justice activism is about core values. And Seven is in the front, protecting Phyllis Harris, the quiet kid who was here at Heights High. My experience here absolutely helped shape who I am. My friends who remain steadfast, and my friends now, we just celebrated our 40th high school reunion. It was a blast. Kelly helped plan it. It was great. I just asked her if she was planning our 45th yet. It's so good. So I wanted to share that because I want to honor, the person who was in the hallways here and the protection that I felt and the care that I felt, and as it has made me who I am now. Now I'm going to read you the speech that I wrote, okay? Dear fellow Heights Tigers and all the members and supporters of Cleveland Heights High community, I am humbled and honored to be inducted into the Cleveland Heights High School Hall of Fame. When I think back on my time at Heights High, I'm filled with pride and gratitude for the education, experiences, and friendships that helped shape my life. To be recognized among such an accomplished group of individuals is truly humbling. I want to thank the Heights Schools Foundation for their tireless dedication to supporting education in the Heights community. Their efforts are apparent in opportunities offered to the youth you see right here today and beyond. I also want to thank my family, my mom, my daughter, my sister Galnar, who's here, who's my partner at work, and everyone else. I think my cousin is here and is an alum, and Carrie Gibbons is here and is also an alum. We're all Heights Tigers. These folks, the teachers, the staff, my family, my friends at Heights High, who believed in me and pushed me to be my best self in all different ways. Without their support and guidance, I wouldn't be standing here today with you. As we celebrate this amazing occasion, I hope to inspire current and future Heights High students, especially those who may be struggling to find acceptance and belonging. To those who are LGBTQ, I want you to know that you're not alone. There are people who love you and support you for who you are, and you have the power to achieve great things. To inspire you, I'll share a quote from one of my favorite poets, Audre Lorde. Each and every one of us has the power and the right to be exactly who we are and live our lives to the fullest. To all Heights students, the parents, the community, with hope, determination, and hard work, sometimes asking for help, sometimes we need to do a redo or a reset, each of us can achieve what we want for ourselves. So continue to strive for excellence, love and know yourselves, and make your mark on the world. Heights High.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Heinz, and I am proud to be a member of the illustrious class of 1985. Mark Brown in the back. You know, we have people in our lives who we learn early to just shut up and do what they say. And so a few moments ago when Chrissy Gallagher texted me and said, "Keep it short, Heinz," I decided to do that. But I do want to share one thing about this place, and that is that I genuinely believe that Heights High is magic. I believe that because I know the magic that it brought to me and to my life, and I have the luxury of, since I serve on the Board of Education, I'm in this building pretty regularly. And I see the magic that happens when I walk through the door and I see one of our administrators sitting down at a desk helping a kid with their homework. Or I walk into classrooms, and I'm a public school teacher myself. I walk into our classrooms, though, and I see some of what I believe genuinely to the core of my being are the best teachers on the planet. I believe that that magic translates into our students, and I believe that the people in the front row here are evidence of that magic that is Heights High. So while I shift and I tell you a little bit about some of the accomplishments of the people in this building, the students in our desks, and the staff at the front of our classrooms and in our offices, I just think that we have to celebrate what's happening here today. We are a district that is deeply rooted in the concept and the life of equity work. Proof positive of that equity work is that the state of Ohio just gave us 5 stars, the highest ranking possible for closing the educational gap. Yes. We have 57 students who are freshmen. We have 57 students this year who we just recognized as advanced placement scholars. That takes 5 AP courses and 3 or higher on all 5. This year, right now, we have 33 freshmen who are on track to receive an associate's degree on the same day they will receive their high school diploma. Earlier this year, in January, we cut the ribbon on the Cleveland Heights Wellness Center. This is a fully functional pediatric office that exists in this building. We did this as a collaboration. With Metro Health and a $500,000 grant from the state of Ohio. I don't often give props to the state of Ohio, but I will in that case. So we have a nurse RN on staff in that office. Our kids can go down, they can be seen, they can be treated. If we don't have the equipment here, we can take them to Metro Health at Severance Center. Nobody gets a bill. Nobody gets a bill. And finally, the class of 2023 received $14.5 million of scholarship offers. That's 350 kids that we graduated last year, and that class earned $14.5 million of scholarship offers. There is magic in this building, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening in our classrooms, it's happening in our offices, and none of that magic can be measured on a test score. Thank you.
I nominated David Thomas, who is class of 91. He is my brother. We have great ties to Heights High. My father worked here for 27 years. He was Bill Thomas, who directed the Heights Singers. And my brother is one of those students that got the best out of Heights High. He started his career here at Heights as one of the audio engineers for the jazz band and for the singers, not just being the audio engineer in the background, but actually planning huge events like Bonnaroo. He did for a number of years. He was in charge of the sound stage for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He freelanced, went out with lots of different artists. From off the top of my head, Frank Sinatra. He toured with Nickelodeon Live, Tony Bennett. He's been with Beyonce. My dad's not here with us anymore, but I know that it would make him awesomely proud to know that his son, who had a difficult time in school, worked here at Heights and found his way and is able to kind of carry on that legacy that my dad had here at Heights as a teacher. My brother carries that on in his life.
My sister Ruth Lynn Gellis is a commander in the United States Public Health Commission Corps, and she works at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. I nominated my sister because she saved our country last year. Basically, since the beginning of the pandemic, she's been working really hard to roll out the vaccines. She really worked tirelessly to make sure that we had vaccine efficacy at a huge level, at a nationwide level, and I think that that's really inspiring. The CEO of CVS and Walgreens had her on speed dial. That's how important she was to getting this all done. My sister Ruth, she was on the COVID task force from day one, and then on vaccine efficacy and rollout from day two when we had that to be looking forward to, and is still continuing to work on those projects. She has been part of that core team and was trusted with doing this huge project.
Well, I nominated Howard Tucker, one, because he's my grandfather, but two, I think he deserves it because of just the numerous contributions he's made to the city of Cleveland and to the country over his 75-plus year career in neurology. He's the Guinness World Records recognized him as the oldest practicing doctor in the world at 98 years old. At the age of 67, he pursued another passion of his, which was law, and he went and received his law degree, all while still working as a full-time physician. He's 101 years old, and he's still not done learning. Now he's teaching medical students at Case Western Reserve. he's just really driven and committed to helping people. I think that's why he deserves to be recognized. I'm just so thrilled for him to be a part of this incredible class.
As a powerful force in the world of audio engineering, David Thomas, a 1991 graduate, has been an important figure working behind the scenes at music festivals including Bonnaroo, NFL Hall of Fame ceremonies, and Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. He's even worked with world-renowned artists like Beyoncé, Imagine Dragons, and Panic at the Disco. During his time in high school, he was recruited by the then director of the band, Jim Bain, to run the soundboard during concerts and tours. Over time, he became the one to control all audio for the Heights Choir and other musical departments' concerts and events. His efforts have helped inspire and guide young audio engineers, including me. My name is Denasia McCullum. I'm a senior at Heights High School. I am grateful to have a chance to be a part of the audio engineering program here at Heights. Unlike Mr. Thomas, who didn't have access to this kind of program or classroom and had to instead rely on his own fascination with sound systems to teach himself and gain that experience and talent with audio engineering. This opportunity is one of the many reasons why I feel lucky to be a Heights High School student here. Mr. Thomas' passion for the industry and dedication to hard work serves as an inspiration to all who have the privilege to work and learn from him, including me. And now, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Denasia, for your introduction. Nicely done. Also want to congratulate fellow inductees. Welcome to our class, right? Pretty exciting. I also want to thank my family for my sister Beth for nominating me. We've always been a close family, and this surprised me for sure. My parents, who've always supported me, even with this crazy idea to try to break into the entertainment industry. My wife Heidi and our kids Molly and Will for putting up with my crazy schedule for this passion that I have. I first started at Heights at 9 months old. Don't get me wrong, I was no brilliant baby scholar. See, my dad, Bill Thomas, or Mr. Thomas as he was known here, was the vocal music director for the Girls Glee Club men's chorus, later to be named the Heights Singers. He taught here at Heights from 1967 to 1998. So, Beth, it was actually 31 years, if I did the math right. It was the winter concert in 1973 when I first entered this auditorium. My dad stood on this stage, directing musicals and concerts for 31 years. Little did I know, at 9 months, this was the stage that would propel me to where I am today. My journey truly began within the walls of Heights. I had the privilege of working with sound systems purchased by the Heights Singers. It was my father who asked me if I can come figure out how to use this equipment for the singers for the spring tour when I was just a freshman, for the concerts and the spring tour when I was just a freshman. From that point on, I found myself mixing not only for the singers, but choir, gospel choir, jazz night, theater department, and countless assemblies. It wasn't until Mr. Bain, who was the director of the jazz band at that time, was the one that decided to pay me for my services my junior year. It was then that I started to think if I could turn this passion into a real job. The resources of Heights were able to help me find a school specializing in recording engineering and live sound, because in the 90s there wasn't any traditional universities offering this major yet. Starting in an industry that was mainly filled with people that were educated with the School of Hard Knocks, no one wanted to hear from some 19-year-old that attended some formal schooling for this. Remembering the lessons that my parents taught me, keep positive, work as hard as I could while keeping my mouth shut and my ears open, waiting for the opportunity to show them what I knew. Soon enough, those opportunities presented themselves, and I was granted a chance to step into bigger roles. But my time here at Heights did not come easy. I had a tough time in school. My freshman year was probably my most difficult. I failed classes. I had to retake them in summer school. It wasn't until an English teacher named Betty Levy asked if I have ever been tested for a learning disability. She saw something that I was trying, but something just wasn't clicking. Come to find out, I'm dyslexic. Once again, the resources at Heights were able to help me create a plan to help me eventually help me make honor roll my senior year. Thanks. Doing sound at Heights was a lot of fun. I was able to sit right there. For some of the best performances our talented student body could offer. Working closely with the stage crew, we started to understand what we needed to be organized, on time, work well together. Mr. Thomas, or Dad, was probably the most demanding of us. We put in hard work and our efforts showed. While we were behind the scenes, we worked long hours after school and on weekends. Help those performers deliver their performance and their talents for all of us to see. 32 years now after my graduation, I still carry on that same work ethic. I absolutely must be organized. I have to interface with touring groups and performing venues. I still put in long hours. It's all because of the dream I had while I was here at Heights. The stages may be bigger, the artist names might be more well known, but the work ethics stay the same. One of the greatest things I loved about going to Heights was how many different people I interacted with. Not only different races, religions, but also different opinions. Heights was a great place to promote open-mindedness. Unveiling the mural celebrating 50 years of Holocaust education at Heights just a few moments ago is a perfect example of how Heights shares diversity. Heights helped prepare me for a job where I travel all over the world. This wasn't anything new to me. While I have the privilege of working with some of the largest shows in the world, I could definitely say that I've never had a perfect show. And here's the beauty of it. If I ever feel that way, I feel I've become complacent. I wasn't looking to do my best. Close enough is not good enough. There's always room for improvement, more to learn, more higher standards to meet. I stand here today not only humbled by this induction, but also deeply appreciative of the experiences and the opportunities that were brought to me to this point. If it weren't for the encouragement of my father, who urged me to learn the intricacies of the Heights Singers sound system, I may have never lived to discover the passion for this sound. So, I want to share this commitment I made a long time ago. A promise that I made to myself when I was a young fan, attending a stadium concert. I approached the sound engineer after the show, looking to make some connections. I asked him about the equipment he was working on, but was brushed off. I vowed never to do that if I was lucky enough to be in that position. And since then, I've pledged to be approachable, to connect with those who seek knowledge, and to pay it forward. It's a promise that has driven me to become an educator in the industry, sharing not only my technical experience, but also the joy and the fulfillment that can be found at work. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this incredible honor and allowing me to share this moment with all of you. It's a moment that I'll truly treasure.
We were all impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. No matter where on earth we lived, no matter how old we were, and no matter how much money we had. We were forced to stay in our homes, scared to be near other people, uncertain of the future. But our next inductee, Dr. Ruth Link Gellis of the class of 2002, helped us return to our normal life. Her work helped me, Harlan Williams, return to school where I am now a senior. Her work helped me return to the soccer field where I am a captain, and hopefully her work will help me go on to have a normal college experience next year. That is because Dr. Ruth Link Gellis is a commander in the United States Public Health Service and served as a lead epidemiologist to test COVID-19 vaccine safety and effectiveness. She has also worked on teams to control outbreaks of measles, hepatitis, and Zika around the world. But she wasn't always doing such world-changing things. She used to be a student just like me. She was on her yearbook staff and wrote for the Black and Gold, which helped her learn about the world, become a better writer, and make all her best friends. Her advice to me and other high school students is to find the thing that makes us excited, in the classroom, with sports, or in the arts. Find the thing that makes us want to get out of bed in the morning, and then figure out how to leverage that to be happy and successful in life. I welcome Dr. Ruth Link Gellis. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And a big thanks to the Heights Schools Foundation for their work to support Cleveland Heights schools, students, teachers, and engaging so much with the alumni community. Thank you to the faculty and staff who made my time at Heights such a vital part of my life path. Thank you to the image makers for making today so special for us. And thank you to my family that's here today, including my parents, grandparents, siblings, both of whom are graduates of Heights High. And especially to my husband and daughter who put up with constant deployments and exceedingly long hours over the last few years. Cleveland Heights is a special place, which is something I don't think I realized until I lived elsewhere. It's proudly diverse, a little quirky, and most importantly, a place that values community involvement. Heights High reflects the community in many important ways. As a student at Heights, I was encouraged to think and question the world around me. Through work on the Black and Gold newspaper, I was taught the importance of an engaged press and the strength that words could have to sway public opinion. In social studies classes, ranging from discussions on the biography of Malcolm X to writing my own proposed amendment to the US Constitution, I learned the impact that public policy can have on an individual, the community, and the world. In AP statistics and science classes, I learned how important it is to make logical, data-based arguments and conclusions. As a member of the generation that came of age during September 11th, the War on Terror, and the Great Recession, this foundational understanding of our country's history and our ability to impact its future is the greatest gift that Heights could have given me and has guided me on my career path. It led me to choose public health, a profession rooted in the idea that public policy can be leveraged to ensure a population lives a long and healthy life. My work to design and implement programs to equitably distribute COVID-19 vaccines to nursing homes and retail pharmacies and ensure broad access to these life-saving tools can be traced back to the values that I learned growing up in Cleveland Heights and attending Heights High. Students at Heights today are coming of age in an era when public policy has never been more important. As the effects of climate change, violations of human rights, and political conflicts increasingly impact our individual lives, I encourage students here in the audience today to think about how they can influence the future of their country. By engaging with your community at a local, state, or federal level, you can do so much to ensure a clean and healthy environment for yourself and your children, equality in public spaces, and a peaceful world. Whether it's by running for public office yourself or serving your community behind the scenes, the country needs more graduates of Heights High in public policy. Heights gives you a foundation, but it's up to you to figure out how to build a meaningful life. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Alana Gaynor, a senior here at Heights High. The inductee I'm introducing today walked these very halls before the United States entered World War II, before color television was invented, and before most people had telephones in their households, let alone their pockets. Departing from Heights in 1940, Dr. Howard Tucker went on to accomplish just about everything, from earning his medical degree from Ohio State and serving as the chief of neurology for the Atlantic Fleet during the Korean War, to holding positions at Case Western Reserve University and Columbia University simultaneously. Beyond that, Dr. Tucker attended law school during his 60s and passed the bar exam at age 67, all while practicing neurology and teaching resident medical students at various Cleveland hospitals. This particular accomplishment is especially inspiring to me since I plan on pursuing law after college and find myself dreading the infamously heavy workload that accompanies law school. But If Dr. Tucker can do it while juggling the responsibilities of a neurologist and a teacher, I'm certain I can do it as a student. In addition to being impressive in their variety, Dr. Tucker's career achievements are also notable in their longevity, which, as you all probably know, is demonstrated by the fact that he holds the Guinness World Record for being the oldest practicing physician. Now, if you all are anything like me, you're wondering how in the world Dr. Tucker managed to navigate his work-filled life without burning out. Thankfully, his explanation is inspiring in its simplicity. He views each day as an opportunity to study something new and treats his pursuit of knowledge as a hobby rather than an obligation. Even though his life has evidently been packed with events and achievements far more noteworthy than attending high school, Dr. Tucker still looks back fondly upon his experience at Heights High and the role it played in preparing him for his numerous post-secondary endeavors. With that, I welcome Dr. Tucker to the stage.
It's 83 years since I was graduated from this school, and I believe my celebrity comes from being in the Guinness World Records. It was when I was 98 years old, I read in the New York Times the obituary of a 98-year-old barber who was in the Guinness records. And I suggested to my grandson, Austin, I wonder who the oldest practicing neurologist is. Well, he contacted Guinness, and what they told him was they didn't divide their nominees by subspecialties, but only as physicians. And about a year later, he was told, and I was told, that I was now the oldest practicing physician in the world. This nomination has shattered my modesty and has inflated my ego. At the same time, I would say, this has all been modified by the fact that it took me 83 years, while it took Travis Kelce 10 years. And I'm hoping that now that he and I are in the same fraternity, he will manage to get me the autograph of his lady, Taylor Swift. I do have a son, Peter Tucker, who collects autographs, and I'm sure he would appreciate it. Now, I started my neurology career at the Cleveland Clinic, and fortunately, the chief said to me, "You are capable of learning more than I can teach you. Apply to the Neurological Institute of New York," which was 14th floor hospital, standing alone for neurology and neurosurgery. After my training, after 3 years, I was made chief of neurology for the Atlantic Fleet, and then returned to Columbia as a professor, or assistant professor, and was fortunate enough to have as one of my students my future wife. In those days, women were restricted from medical school, and 0 to 8% were women. We could have stayed in Columbia, but we moved to Cleveland, where I was a member of the faculty, and then joined the Cleveland Clinic eventually, retired from there, and since I have decided that retirement is the enemy of longevity, I took a job at St. Vincent and have recently been out of work since they closed their doors forever at November 15th, 2022. My memories of Heights High School. Recently, the wife of a colleague, no, not a colleague, a friend, asked me, what was your favorite time at Heights High School? I said, the orchestra. She said, that's funny, that's what my husband says. We had a wonderful orchestra. I was concert master for a while, and I can't remember if I was concert master or not when the orchestra won the national championship, but I was in the orchestra at least. My memory of my teachers is fond. My education was fond. To put you into the mode of the time we were, one teacher would take me home in his car. At what cost? I had to crank his car to get it going. There were other teachers equally as amusing. I shall not elaborate too much on that. So I thank the memories. I thank the Heights High School for honoring me this way, for the dedication they have to teaching. And I am flattered, really flattered to be here. Thank you.
My paper says, good afternoon, everyone, but it's really good evening. My name is Chrissy Dietrich Gallagher, and I am a member of the esteemed Heights High class of 1991. That's right. I am also a member of the Board of Trustees for the Heights Schools Foundation, who sponsors the Hall of Fame and who brought you this lovely induction ceremony. Please join me in congratulating the newest inductees to the Cleveland Heights High School Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame, the class of 2023. And please join me in congratulating the image makers, this fine group of young people who worked after school and during their lunch hours to interview and introduce our inductees. Image makers, would you please rise? The motto of the Heights Schools Foundation is celebrate our past, embrace our present, support our future. I think that today that motto could be celebrate our past, celebrate our present, and celebrate our future, because that's what I believe we've done. We now invite the Hall of Famers and their designated guests to join us for a celebratory dinner in the cafeteria by exiting through those doors. Everyone else, we thank you for coming and making this event so special. You are all invited to join the Hall of Famers at the Wine Spot on Lee Road at 7:15, or maybe like a little later than that this evening. And as if anybody needs yet another reminder of the immense talents that exist within the walls of this building, we close today with a spring 2020 recording of the Heights High's vocal music department singing our unofficial alma mater, Let It Be Me. I dare you to keep a dry eye.
I bless the day I found you. I want to stay around you, and so I beg you, let it be me. Don't take this heaven from one if you must cling to someone now and forever. Let it be me. Each time we meet, love, I find complete love. Without your sweet love, what would life be? So never leave me lonely. Tell me you'll love me only, and that you'll always let it be me. For each bit of gladness, someone must take some sadness. I'll bear the sorrow. Let it be me. Please let